Thanks for tuning in to the House of Orange Sports Channel on this Tuesday morning. Tennessee baseball, of course, 2 days ago, they were eliminated from the Super Regionals. No College World Series this year. Still a good year for Tony Vitello and his baseball team, though. And in the post game, Tony Vitello, they basically asked him what needs to change or whatever, and he said, we got to go get guys. Well, that's exactly what they are doing right now. Put out a video last night because Pete Nakos on 3 had put out an article of potential Tennessee targets or guys he had heard Tennessee was going after. I'm not sure who's broke this, but it's I've seen a combination of Mike Wilson of the Knoxville News Sentinel and Eric Kane, VolQuest.com have put out today. Tennessee scheduled to host at least 4 visitors this week, and I've tried to do my due diligence on this about each guy here as well. Now, the first one, or before we get to it, hit the like, share out that content. If you know anybody that's not found the channel, share that out. If you're a returning listener and you like the content, you're thinking about it, or you're a first time you like it, hit that subscribe button. It is free. There is no cost for it. Just get you the updates for any content that I put out. And I'm going to try to stay really on top of this baseball portal content right now. But the first one, and apparently he's visiting today, and I saw Ben McKee of 24/7 put this out as well. Brady Frederick, Southern Conference Pitcher of the Year, ETSU, is scheduled to be in town today. He has a do not contact tag on him, and he is from Knoxville, went to Bearden High School, played at Bearden High School, and based on what I've read, he did grow up a Vol fan as well. We did see him back when ETSU beat Tennessee on March 18th. He's a submarine guy, side armor, whatever you want to call it. He's in the mold of A.J. Causey, maybe a little more submarine to him. I have not seen if anybody else is in on him right now, but the fact that he's in, do not contact, he's already visited Knoxville. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me to see Tony Vitello and staff lock that one down today, and it could give you an interesting mix of relief pitchers. But I have my doubts this will happen, though, because based on right now, you have Clay Edmonson, Big South pitcher of the year from UNC Asheville. He's a grad transfer. He announced a little while back that he's transferring to Tennessee. The thing with him is he's a draft risk, and I got to think if it's there, he's probably taking it. I hope he makes it to Knoxville, but he's a submarine guy as well. That would give you 2 of them, and that gives you a change of pace where you could go, Krenzel was more of a, what would you say, a 3/4 type guy. You've got a lot of different arm angles, and I look at it Coons is more over upright. And speaking of Coons, people, want to speculate on him. If you want any, his brother Carson responded on Twitter and said he's a Vol. He's not going anywhere. So that's as close to the source as you want to get. I have a pretty good source on this one as well. And not saying, you never say never with it. I think there's a pretty good chance he's back. But anywho, if you went from, say, Coons to Krenzel to a Frederick or an Edmonson would be a starter if he come. But you've got all these different arm angles. You mix that up, that's going to make it tougher on these pitchers. I feel like this year, for the most part, all of your arm angles were pretty similar, lefty or righty. And, just Dylan Loy would come in and be a change of speed. The rest of the guys, though, are all mid to high 90s. So I don't think there was a lot of variation in the staff this year other than Dylan Loy and what he did. And with his around 90, where you at with his breaking stuff. But, Arvidsson over the top, mean breaking ball, 95 and up with it as well. Frederick, again, with the do not contact. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together on this. I know nothing on it personally, but I think this is one that we could here wrap up today possibly. Now, that depends if he's intent on seeing more schools or not, which I've not seen. But that's the first one. Another pitcher, and I've been looking around on this guy, seeing the reports on him and stuff. It's Landon Mack from Rutgers. He was a true freshman this year, 4.03 ERA. He went 6-5. He did start all 15 games that he appeared in. 80 1/3 innings. He gave up 81 hits, 70 strikeouts. Opponents hit 266. Now, when I'm looking at some of the scouting reports on him, though, perfectgame.com, I looked at him. And coming out of the 2023 class, They had him ranked 392 overall, and they gave him a grade of 9. Well, what that means, according to the perfect game grades, a 9. Again, this doesn't always work out, obviously. I'm sure they've probably had plenty of hits, plenty of misses. But 9 says potential top 10 round pick and highest level college prospect. And looking around, too, at some things that I found on here, some scouting reports I saw just through a guy who worked for D1 Baseball, Shotgun Spratling is the Twitter account on it. Apparently, Rutgers' whole weekend rotation hit the portal. And according to what he said about Landon Mack, he said he talked about the Rutgers pitchers. He said all 3 have upside, but he said, but Landon Mack is someone's future ace. Apparently, he's trying out for USA Baseball this summer. Says he sits 94 to 95, touch 96. And Shotgun said, when I saw him, he also had a cutter 87 to 88. Uses that to get off barrels and then mixes in a hard changeup at 88 with a swing and miss curveball at 78 to 80. So that's plus 4 pitches coming in. Frank Anderson loves guys that throw the cutter as well. So this is a guy, to me, the strikeout numbers maybe didn't match up here, but we've seen that in Knoxville. Guys come to Knoxville, and all of a sudden those strikeouts amplify. You get him in a Tennessee strength and conditioning program. You get him into the Frank Anderson program here. There's a lot of potential here. So not sure the date on when he's visiting, but Mike Wilson, Eric Kane both said Mack is scheduled to visit this week. And it's a lot of high praise for him from Shotgun Spratling, D1 Baseball. And again, perfect game. They have a high grade on him as well with plus stuff there. So that could be a couple pitchers. Of course, I mentioned last night, the pitcher from Mississippi State, the left-hander. Gosh, the name slips my mind now. I'd have to go back and look at it, but there's him that's on the radar. I'll link the video at the end on it. I've seen a lot of names. I've been researching a lot of names, and they're starting to kind of get a little hard to remember if I'm not on that specific guy right now. I guess I'm getting too old here. But anyhow, Frederick, I expect him in the fold. Mack, it looks like he would be a guy they would plug into the rotation just based on where he's at. But, I mean, the thing is, too, you get him to campus and you make it happen then. I don't think they're going to guarantee anybody anything. It'll all be handled on the field. Tennessee, another guy that's pretty interesting. Now, I'm seeing multiple teams, at least their fans are talking about it. A guy by the name of Aiden Robbins, played for Seton Hall this year, had pretty good numbers this year as well for Seton Hall. Let me pull that back up. I had it here, but his perfectgame.com grade is an 8, which says he projects as a major league draft pick and a solid college player. Well, he's definitely solidifying a solid college player thing at Seton Hall right now. And he's not a draft risk this year because he'll be about a little over 20 years old come draft time, 20 years, 5 months, according to his bio in Perfect Game. But based on his stats this year, he hit 438 in 46 games, 178 at bats, 78 hits, 16 doubles, 5 triples, 5 home runs, 33 RBIs. He has an OPS, it looks like, of 1219. Now, what OPS is, it's a combination of on-base percentage and slugging percentage. It's the sum of the two. With it. In comparison, like Andrew Fisher was 1257 this year. So that's pretty strong numbers for him as well. 38 walks, 20 stolen bases this year as well is what I've seen. His stats say 16. I've seen somebody say 20 on it. So, well, let's put it to, according to his stats, it says 16 on the Seton Hall website. But anyhow, a guy who can hit. Another thing I found with him was going through Twitter, there's a site called Diggs Pitcher on here. Very into numbers, metrics. I just started following him. I'm still learning a little bit about his page. But according to him and what he's gone through, his top 10 hitters in college baseball, Aiden Robbins was number 1 this year on it. Peter Flaherty is a guy. He's a writer for Baseball America. He says Robbins had 20 stolen bases as well. So something's not matching up with the stats-wise. But anyhow, only 32 strikeouts. Says, I guess his barrel-to-bat skills are advanced approach, plus swing decisions, good hand speed, goes gap to gap, and a good runner. So he is an outfielder. He would fit in. Be interesting to see where it is. Now, I've seen Texas A&M. Some of their, I don't know if it's just talk I've looked when I'm looking around trying to find stuff on Robbins. There's some Texas A&M. They're counting him in, thinking they have a good shot at him. Apparently, Texas is in on him and wanting him as well. I've seen that from numerous sites here. So there's just looking at it here as well. So it looks like there's some stiff competition for him. He's scheduled to visit this week and not seen the date on that one as well. And then talked about last night too, Pete Nakos talked about Tennessee is going after a catcher. He mentioned Carson Tenney from Notre Dame, which would be a home run pickup. He mentioned Garrett White, Mack freshman of the year, Bowling Green. Another guy that's mentioned here is Jake Weatherspoon. He played at it's Indian River State College in Florida this year. Now, based on what I've seen, he's committed to Virginia, but of course, Virginia had the coaching change. That could be something like with Brendan Arvidsson last year. He was committed to Texas, and then once Schlossnagle took over, Tennessee was able to get him. Now it's a different situation because Arvidsson had already played for Schlossnagle. Weatherspoon very well could follow O'Connor to Mississippi State. I've not seen anything on that, but Tennessee has either already visiting. He's already visited Tennessee or he's scheduled to visit per Eric Kane, VolQuest.com. Looking at his numbers and what stands out to me with all these guys that out of 3 catchers that Tennessee's targeting is defense on it. Now, Weatherspoon has some good numbers offensively, 374, OPS 941. Again, that's a combination of on base and slugging. That's the sum of the two. Looks like he only struck out 16 times in 196 appearances. That's pretty dang good right there. 2 home runs, 8 doubles, 50 RBIs. He stole 3 bases, got caught twice on it. But his catching, his metrics down here that I look at are his numbers with it. He only had 3 errors on the year. His fielding percentage was .989. That's really good right there. In conference, it was even higher at .991 with it. He only allowed 9 stolen bases. He gunned down 15 runs. 625 caught stealing percentage. That's pretty damn good, guys. That's really damn good, as a matter of fact. Only had 3 pass balls, and he did have 1 catcher interference here as well. But it's pretty obvious to me, Tony Vitello and staff, they're targeting guys who are, it looks to me like elite defensive catchers. You go back to the national championship team 2024. Cal Stark didn't necessarily, his numbers went up offensively from 2023 to 2024. Where Cal Stark made a difference, he was a phenomenal actual catcher. How many times did Cal Stark bail Tennessee out of situations with that pick to first? Cannon Peebles tried it and didn't have success with it this year. And I thought Cannon Peebles did a good job this year. Not perfect, don't get me wrong, but he did a good job. He propelled himself to be drafted this year. Cal Stark was elite. He was an elite defensive catcher. All these guys they are targeting are elite defensive catchers. What Tennessee, it shows me they're looking for a guy, because to me, basically, the guy who should captain in the field is the catcher. That should be your leader in the field. That's what Tennessee's targeting right here, is to shore up and get an elite defensive catcher. If you get Tenney in from Notre Dame, you're getting an elite offensive player and catcher. Looks to me like White from Bowling Green is really good offensively. Weatherspoon from Indian River has potential as well. So it's pretty obvious Tennessee's trying to shore up multiple positions. And there'll be more names here along the way. And, of course, we're going to see portal entries this week. I would imagine exit interviews are probably starting about any day. I've not seen exactly when on that. Once those start, I think you'll start to see those names enter as well. Any more news I run across on it? Again, I'm keeping my eye on Frederick today. Again, I've not seen if he has other visits scheduled, but I would imagine with a do not contact, I think there's a good possibility this one wraps up today. Just my opinion on it. It's no knowledge of that. And again, I could be wrong, and maybe he has a couple more visits scheduled. Keep you posted on that. But make sure you hit the like, the share, the subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Check out the memberships in the links in the description for memberships. $1 a month Patreon go to greatly help. Or if you want to say thanks, bottom right-hand corner. Those are greatly appreciated as well. This is Frank, House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.